Joe's Italian. Joe's Italian. He's paisano. He likes to put a little bling on stuff, and the Italians they like to wear the gold necklaces. They like to ice it out, and Joe sometimes goes a little over the top. And so we do something when we talk about winning. They're partners, right? So how could they be against each other? But what they'll do is, one will have an idea. What do you think about this? And then but Sue likes this. What do you think's better, Anthony? And Joe will ask everybody that walks through that house.
Yeah.
And
Everybody.
Joe,
I'm 0 for 5.
his record isn't very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's 0 for 5 on the last shower. He made an executive decision. This is what happened. So this is tips to not only flippers, but also to husbands and wives, or people in relationships. When you go against the better half,
You lose.
you lose. You lose. So Joe made an executive decision. He said, "I want it. Let's go with this." The guys are like, "You sure you don't want to ask Sue?" No, this is gonna look good. It was a tile backsplash in a bathroom and an inset for a soap inset, and wow, he heard about it the next day.
It wasn't that bad. But
We had to regrout it.
It was pretty bad.
She didn't like the color of the grout.
It's 0 for 5.
Yeah.
So Joe goes and asks everybody. He would take everybody to come see his house and go, "Hey, what do you think?" And he wouldn't tell him, who decided what, whether it was Sue or him. Because what do you think? My idea or Sue's idea? He would take him one bathroom and the other bathroom, and everybody would go, "Well, I like the other one better." And Sue would go, or Joe would go, "Man, 0 for 1, 0 for 2." He's at 0 for 5, so he stopped asking.
Yeah. Had to. I was looking bad.
We have a lot of fun with that.
But you know what though, Joe though Joe. You're the type of person, and I really look up to this, and I hope that as I gain more experience and I get older, I'm the same way. Joe just cares so much about the small details because those are the things that matter. I worked with other flippers before, and there's not a lot. I can probably count them in my hand that look at everything, and they think about the small things as well. The majority of the investors I've worked with, they worry just about the over general sense of things, and they don't think about, hey, does the fascia look good? Or if we replace that one part, should we paint it, or should we paint the whole thing? Or you know what, let's just make everything look good. Joe always makes sure that his flips are 100%. And if he had a limited budget, he'd probably build a whole brand new house.
Oh yeah, Joe. And so, what makes you want to do that?
Dude.
Going all the way on your flips and taking care of.
I'm in the detail. Our
Okay.
company was in the detail, and that's what we do. And that's over 49 years.
You just
I
ingrained
look
it.
at all the detail, and if I miss it, my wife catches it, and I catch hell. So
it's not just in the design though. We're talking about in the construction, the quality
Right.
of what you do.
I just love the quality of the work. It's fun. I don't make it work. I make it fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you love it. You wake up
Yeah.
and it's not like I'm
Yeah.
going to work. I'm going to have fun, huh?
Yeah. It's like a workout. You're having fun.
Right.
You don't think about it. You just do it. But do it right.
What time do you wake up, Joe?
2:30, 3 o'clock.
Whoo!
Wow.
Every day, Saturday, Sunday. 49 years.
This guy's a workhorse. And so what
I'm,
I enjoy.
I'm getting old.
No,
He's an Italian
He's
workhorse.
just he's a Ferrari.
You're a Ferrari, Joe.
You're a Ferrari, Joe.
I don't know about that one.
Fine-tuned machine. Well, what I love about Joe is one of the biggest, most scary parts of the transaction, and realtors can tell you, they would agree, is the Binzer, the inspection period, because you kind of hold your breath. You might decide on it. You might get a good offer. You might get a lower offer. You might be right in on what you need. And when you get that offer, I'll tell you one thing. When you go into that inspection period, there's not one person
That's right.
that does a better job on taking care of issues that would come up on the Binzer. Sometimes some of the flippers that we have done business with in the past and that we do currently, and we see this because we have clients that purchase flipped houses as well. And the Binzer, you could just tell they just ran through it. other flippers.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit.
I read every Binzer that you give me,
Okay.
and I go through each line item on the Binzer. I take that knowledge of that little bit they put on there, even if it's a little scratch they find somewhere, and I learn from that one. So I read it on the next house. I remember what he pointed out. So I take that to the next house. Then I take that to the next house. I think we had a couple houses, there was nothing on it.
It's absolutely phenomenal.
Nothing.
Right. And these are houses that are really bad shape. And you know flipped house, everybody's seen the shows. So when you get these properties, there's a lot of little things wrong with it.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of deferred maintenance. There's a lot of problems that you have to fix that cost money. Right, Joe? Add up.
Every time you go to Home Depot, it's $300. So
But-
don't go if you don't have to.
But Joe, I've never seen Joe say, "Hey, just bury it," or just
No.
let it go,
Not at all.
or
We-
let him bring it up on the Binzer. Joe doesn't even want to see it on the Binzer. Everyone,
No, it embarrasses me.
yeah, he's embarrassed, which that shows you about the pride you have in
Quality.
the work.
100% quality.
Yeah, we got a guy who says Drano.0928 says, this man is out here spitting pure gold. And then his second comment was, thanks for holding these podcast, gents.
Yeah, right.
Thank you
So
guys
somebody
for
said-
attending the podcast.
Somebody says you're giving pure gold. You're giving great advice.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, somebody on the comment section. Thank you guys
Pure
so
gold.
much. We do these podcasts every week unless it's the week of Yuma REI. And actually, while I'm on the topic of Yuma REI, because next Thursday would be right the day before Thanksgiving, we're gonna
No,
change.
Thanksgiving.
Valentine's Day.
Sorry, Valentine's Day. Right
He's
before
hungry.
Valentine's. Yeah, I am hungry. Right before Valentine's Day.
Felix, we're in February.
It's always
That's in November.
it's always Thanksgiving and Christmas to me, man.
There you go.
Yuma REI is going to be on Wednesday instead of Thursday next week because we want to make sure people have enough time so that they don't have to worry about it and they could just focus on Valentine's Day.
So it's going to be on Wednesday?
It'll be on Wednesday. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's close to the holiday, and everybody's prepping, and some people are celebrating the day before. So
You're still going to have pizza, aren't you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
come on, Joe.
Yep, I
Don't
can't
let you
wait.
down. So yeah, we got the Yuma REI, and what's great about that is those who are listening, we talk about having mentors. We talk about connecting with other flippers. If you've never flipped a house before, how do you learn? We've talked about this at great extent, and there's no better way than having a mentor or having somebody that can guide you through that. We have Yuma REI for a community. It's not a money-making thing. It's for a community of people to learn.
Oh, yeah, it's free. We pay for everything.
Yeah. So with that, you have people in that room like Joe with a ton of experience and knowledge.
Yeah.
And so if you attend, you could shake Joe's hand. You get to meet him, and then you could go from there. But you create a good relationship, a connection, and someone that you can go to ask advice. And that's really where people like you, Joe, in our community are willing to go to these real estate mixers and get involved. Not just, hey, you're at the top of your game. You flipping 3-4 houses at a time. You don't need to go to that. You already know most of the stuff.
But it's fun.
But it's fun.
It is fun.
It's fun. I get a house from you, and sometimes they're just really distressed. Some
Okay.
are good, some are bad. You take an average. And I go into a community, and I make it, that house, beautiful.
Yes, sir.
I can only do in that house what's in that house to make it good. I can't go moving this and that and making this and doing that. So I do the best that we could do with what we're dealt with.
And the budget.
The budget's I'm always over budget.
He's always over.
Budget does not exist.
But here's the thing. He does within reason the most he can do.
Oh, yeah.
Like if it's a little bit over budget, he's going to do the cabinets. But what's awesome about that, and that's because Sue gets the kitchen.
Yes, she does. Yeah.
Sue gets the kitchen and the bathrooms.
No, I get the bathrooms.
Well,
I get the shower.
You lost that.
Really?
You're 0 for 5.
Oh,
You're
okay.
on that
You're
one,
on
but
timeout
that's
right
fine.
now. You're on timeout with those showers.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just kidding. But with that, you go in there, and what's a difficult thing about flipping houses is sometimes you have to compromise. You have to say, hey, do I put the gingerbread in there, or do I fix the problems? Right, Joe? Or do you do both?
You have to fix the problems.
So
You have to.
that's more important than...
You know why?
Okay, let's hear it.
Because when you sell my house that I bought from you that we flipped, we do the best we can do. That's why the Binzer report is always low, very low. But they always try to find something. You know, like I said, unless it's a little scratch or this or that, or unless I miss something. And we don't miss too much because we walk through it and nitpick it ourselves, and walk through it again, nitpick it ourselves. But it becomes fun.
Right, and Joe does the, like just things that stand out in my mind. You do the termite report. You get that done beforehand. Typically, that's
Right
something
off the
that's
bat.
always on the Binzer. Most realtors that are listening, or they know that's going to be on the report. It's pretty common, but that's done even before the Binzer. Things like the hose bibs, Joe's fixing those up. Anything that you would think that's minor, like if they catch it, not Joe. If he sees
I
it,
know a lot of
he's on it.
investors that if the hose bib is if it's working, even if it's dripping, it's fine.
Yeah, that's not Joe.
No,
It's not Joe
Joe
Martelli.
doesn't do that. Nope.
So Joe owned a concrete business. He poured concrete, but not just for anybody. Joe, you would pour concrete for some of the best, hardest jobs. And Joe was a setup man. Even, if it's something super complicated like steps, Joe.
They're fine.
That's the hardest thing to do, right?
What is the hardest thing to do in concrete?
Grades.
Is it designs, like in a design within the concrete lines?
There's nothing hard because I've done it for so long. So there's
like
just
it.
nothing hard. Trying to please my wife to get it right on the money.
She's awesome at concrete too.
She can do it all.
I think she critiques your work.
I go to work and ask her, "What do you want me to do, honey?"
And then you go to, and she's on the big jobs with you.
I mean, she's working my hands to the bones.
Oh, look at
My
you.
fingers, I mean.
Yeah, no, I think you love it. I think you love it. It's a good team.
Yeah. There, on the concrete, there's nothing that's really hard.
What
Pouring the concrete the day that you need to pour, and scheduling is really important when you
I
schedule.
see.
You have to schedule.
Yeah.
Just like on the flips, you got to have everything there before you begin. Once you scrap it, you got to have. You know what you got to have. You know what you got to have because you've done it for so long. So you got to make sure the material is there. So when you get a rocking and a rolling, you can go through it nice and smooth. You don't got to stop, wait for 3 days, then start back up. You want an even flow, and once you do enough of them, it just comes natural.
There you go.
So
And Joe-
let me ask you this: when you lay concrete, you can do sidewalks, you could do steps, you could do walls. What type do you charge more for?
Stamp concrete.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, that's a specialty decorative.
Yep. We're mostly a decorative mom and pop outfit.
Okay.
Now,
Detail work.
yeah, we're in the detail.
Yeah, you don't
Did a
want-
lot of work for Warner Brothers up in Hollywood. Been all over.
Ooh. Some big,
Had some fun.
see, there you go.
Made some
Warner
money.
Brothers. Yeah.
Made some money there.
Yeah.
That's where he saved his nickels and his dimes because it takes some money to flip. So
Takes a lot of money to flip.
there you go.
It does.
And so, Joe, the reason I keep on bringing up concrete is because the way I see you run your jobs. And so with concrete, everybody knows you have to plan because if you got weather, you can't pour. If you pour, you have time because concrete's setting, right?
That's right.
Pours wet and it's gonna pour. It's gonna dry, and once it dries, it's over. It's over, ladies and
right.
gentlemen.
It's
So-
timing.
It's timing. And so we've seen that with Joe with regards to flipping. He's constantly going over, hey, I'm doing this Monday. We're bringing in the painter. We're doing, we got the drywall guy, then the painter. And he even tells me, hey, I'm leaving a day in between in case somebody gets behind. And I just listen half the times. And he's like probably thinking Anthony's not even paying attention, but I do.
Yeah.
And when I learned, because Joe doesn't know this, that he probably thinks, I'm thinking to myself, he probably thinks I'm not paying attention, but I am. And
It's the same way with you when you talk. You don't think I'm paying attention, but I am.
okay, there
Joe
we go.
knows everything.
So we're pretty even on that one.
There we go. But what I've learned, Joe, from you is that the other day, because I've known Joe for years, talked to him all the time. couple times a week. And so what I've learned, something new, is that Joe's like, hey, I'm going to leave a little space here, here, and here. It's so genius because how many times does somebody say, hey, I'm going to finish the electrical, and then the drywall guy can come in because he's going to make holes, and then that day it doesn't get done because the electrician gets held up.
Right.
And now you have the electrician and the drywall guy sitting there going, hey, you're not done.
When you bring in a sub, you want everybody to start and finish. You don't want anybody to start, stop, come back. They make it mad. They can't make money. So if you schedule it, you give everybody a day. If they can't meet your schedule, then you find a different sub.
There you go. So you give
Real
them a couple,
simple.
Yeah. So it's business.
You know,
And
it's,
it shows appreciation for the time of the other subcontractors that you're working
well,
with.
sometimes the sub forget my time is valuable just as much as their times are valuable. So if I'm waiting around for a sub, my time's valuable.
Time
Who's
is
paying
money.
me?
Yeah.
Time is money.
Time is money.
There we go.
And we do one thing that probably a lot of people don't do. Bring me an invoice. My wife will write the check.
Right then and there.
You don't have to wait. Bring it that day you finish. We okay it. We will write you the check. Real simple.
Yeah, people love working for that because half the time people are hunting down their money.
You don't have to run for your money. I've done it for years in concrete. I don't want my subs to do it out here.
Yeah, that
I
says
know
a
what
lot about
I know
you.
what it feels like.
This is why people like working with Joe.
It don't
Exactly.
feel good when you got to run for your money.
Right. No, Joe's super fair, and people love that. I mean, no one ever says Joe and Sue, the Martellis, don't pay because they're paying.
But I got to have a good price too.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
You know how to negotiate, Joe?
Well, Felix taught me how to negotiate during the meetings. Everything negotiable.
All
There you
right.
go. Real estate.
I picked that up.
Joe, you love learning.
Oh yeah.
So you had 49 years of being in concrete, and now you're learning. Well, I think you're learning. Would you say you're still learning about flipping?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we constantly learn,
Yeah.
right?
Always.
And so, over the last 3-4 years, has it gotten easier?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's take for instance the last house.
Okay.
What's the first thing we did? We had to get a roof on it. What's the second thing we do? Boom, had to get the air conditioned. What's the next thing you had to do? We had to change the fascia. What's the next thing? Oh, I want it painted. Let's get it painted. Boom, we got it painted. What's the next thing we do? Got the screens put on today.
Oh,
Wow,
nice.
Nice.
Yeah. So why that's going on? What's going on inside? Well, he's inside painting. Well, before he paints, what does he got to do?
Dry-
We had to do all our
Popcorn.
electrical.
Oh, electrical. Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
So once we did our electrical, what's the next thing we had to do?
Patch and paint.
Yeah,
or
we
patch and
had
drywall.
about David in there, great sub, to do all the texturing. What's the next thing? Allowed another day. He beat his schedule, so I'll use him again. But he's a great guy.
Yeah. So he's
You know,
ahead.
good
He
worker and
helps you
good work.
stay ahead.
Yeah. So we brought the painter in on Monday. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. We brought the painter in. So what's next? Johnny's Carpet's coming in on Monday.
Shout out to Johnny.
Yep.
All right. So
Then what's next?
What's after that, Anthony?
the baseboard trim?
Oh, we already got that in on the.
But you got to put it on
In the
top
ba-
of the floor.
Well, we got that in on the
That's
bedrooms
that's
already.
Sue's.
That's Sue's deal there.
See, I'm just thinking about Sue's deals. I know what.
Wait, can I just very briefly bring to attention that not only does Joe pay attention to the details, and because of his 43 years of experience in concrete, was it 43?
It's 49.
49 years of experience
Wait.
in concrete.
That's licensed. 3 years without.
So total it gets 52 years of concrete. That's why he's pays so much attention to the diligency and the details of work. Joe and Joe's wife, they do the work themselves. Sue's out there cutting baseboard
And they're retired.
and they're retired. That is amazing.
Yeah, no, they love it.
I can't take all the credit for this flipping. I have to give it to my wife. I can't take all the credit. It's we, not me.
Right.
Oh no,
It's
she
we.
wanted to retire in Yuma. And she's been trying to drag Joe to Yuma because
For 4 years
Joe's
now.
in demand in San Diego. He could still make money.
Oh, yeah.
He could still make money. He could still be billing and doing concrete jobs. He's turning them down. He's just like, hey guys, I'm retired. So, we know, Joe, that you're an asset to Yuma and to the real estate market.
Oh, yeah.
And
we uplift the communities on some of the distressed houses
Yes, sir.
to make them feel good.
Yeah, you're our first flipping guest that we've had on the
Yes,
on
you
the
are.
podcast.
And you know what else?
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here.
We wouldn't have anybody else. I mean, if we're gonna have, we might as well have the best at the beginning.
Yeah, Sue, get an invoice out.
I love it.
Look at
So-
this.
So watch this.
Joe's billing us right now.
So Anthony, listen to this. Joe started using cracked pepper on these houses.
Don't get my secret.
Okay,
away.
never
Now,
mind,
come
never
on.
mind. Look.
Man, Joe started using a color.
He started using a color, and it looks so freaking good. And now everybody's ripping him off. Everybody's using the color that he did.
Yeah, I'm not going to post nothing no more on Facebook.
Thanks, Felix, for letting him know the color. But
What
we didn't give
color?
him the body color.
Nope.
No,
Nope,
I'm not giving it.
Nothing. Color.
Nope.
What
No more-
color?
No more secrets.
No more secrets. No, Joe has a consistent flavor for his houses. He might do a little bit of. He probably do some Italian flair, bling it out a little bit. Sue will come and go. Stop it, Joe.
Oh,
What are you doing?
yeah.
How you doing, Joe? What are you doing there?
She don't like my baseboard painted black
No. Yeah, he comes up with stuff like that.
or the trim around the doors painted black.
Yeah. We have to like draw the line, Joe. But hey, go back to your quiz. What's after the floor? I think you're gonna bring cabinets in.
Oh yeah,
Cabinets.
Oh,
See,
cabinets are supposed
Cabinets
to be set
have
on
to go
Monday.
in before you put the trim. That's
Joe
right.
Joe
Yeah.
Joe thinks about the ergonomics of the property. When he says we're gonna put a cabinet in the countertops, how far out we're gonna put it out? Well, wait a second. Let's look at if there's a sliding door to the exterior.
I got to correct something.
Yes, sir.
Nope. It's not Joe, it's Sue on this one.
Sue thinks about so many things. It's crazy. The countertops. Sue goes, you know what? There's a door right there, so it should only go out this far because then it's gonna mess with the natural path of a human being. They're gonna want to walk around, and that just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
So they think that ahead.
Because Joe's bigger, better. He's like, hey, make it another foot. And Sue's like, wait a second, Joey.
You got to have a straight path to the door.
Yeah.
Yes.
'Cause
I say walk around a little bit, then have a straight path.
Joe's like, let's make it bigger.
Yeah. I guess bigger is not better sometimes.
No.
Sometimes.
But we like it. He goes all out. He
Yeah.
calls it-
It's fun.
It's
You got to
fun.
have fun. Another thing too, you have to have heart.
Okay.
Yep.
Got to have heart. If you want to flip right and get people, realtors, when you put it on the MLS, that follow you because they know you do a good flip, got to have heart. You got to make sure you get a good product. And after a while, it's small town, it gets out. Everybody wants to buy a Martelli house.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely.
And,
Yeah.
and you want to make money. Obviously, that's you got to make money, right?
Yeah, right.
This isn't a pro bono work.
No.
Sue's still, you still have to take Sue out to have margarita and El Charo
Oh, yeah.
once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I've been trying to tell Joe he needs to go to Italy and go on a cruise or spend some of
that'd
his
be
money.
nice.
But we're working on him still. But he likes to play with his razors once in a while, and I try to tell him, Joe, have some fun. Let's go to the river or something. But he loves to work. That's his fun.
Yeah, that is fun for Joe.
So, with Joe, his passion, he was talking about his heart. He puts that in his work. That's where it's at.
And
Joe.
it shows.
You got to have heart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and most people. So we're talking about you want to make the money. You have to make money, but a lot of people, that's all they are is worried about that bottom line. And
That's called greed.
okay,
That's greed.
see,
Greed will bite you in the butt every
you go.
time.
I love
Yep,
that.
I love that too. That's gold.
I mean, that's the bottom line. If you're not greedy and put out a good product, the money will follow. Got to watch the pennies, but the money
I
will
like that.
follow.
And
You'll sell them quick. You'll sell them quick because it's a good product. Once you sell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or I don't know how many we done, 15
Let's go.
together,
Yes.
plus some land deals.
yes,
I mean, and going to do many more, depending on the economy, I guess,
yeah,
and the interest rates.
yeah. We've been
The
talking
interest
about
rates
that
are
too.
not
I mean,
good right now. Yeah.
some stuff we can't control, but we can control is continue to work hard, continue to move forward. The money's going to come. Like you said, that house is a piggy bank.
It's a bank.
It's a bank. So it's better there than even in the bank because what's the bank going to return you?
Nothing.
Nothing.
So
pennies.
So this is a
If
We're
any.
looking for dollars.
this is kind of
Yes,
like
sir.
a retirement, I guess, post-retirement occupation,
Plan.
but also fun,
Yep.
enjoying.
but
It's a resort.
you got to have money.
You got
Yeah.
yeah.
You got to have money to have fun, so you can afford to sit on them. Because holding them costs you X amount of dollars. You have an X amount that you're sitting on. They add up. You know, if you sit on them too long, so there's a breaking point. There
Diminishing
as well.
return. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know you can have fun with it. If you're not greedy, you can have fun.
I can't wait till Joe. We're in a market and we're doing some business. We played in a little bit of a market like this, but Joe, you're going to see a market eventually where when you hold them, they rise in value. So what I mean by that is when you buy it, it's actually worth more because this is the hard part right now. The market's moving sideways,
Yeah.
maybe even a little dip.
Yeah.
So when you buy it, if you bought it and it's worth, let's just say 300 at the end, it's still going to be worth 300 at the end. I can't wait till Joe's in a market where when he buys it, we're like, hey, Joe, it's going to be 300. But then at the end, it's 315,
Oh, okay.
in 3-4,
That-
because that's
yeah.
going to come.
319,
319.
319,
319.
Always pushing the
949.
limits.
Hammering.
Negotiate.
He's already negotiated.
He's a negotiator. He's the master negotiator.
I don't think we ever sold a house that we hadn't hit the height of the market.
Yeah, no, we always do.
And the realtors should hand it to me. Not
Yeah.
talk about me. They should hand it to me. I done lifted the market up so they can make money too.
Yeah.
That little bit, they can make more money.
Your neighbors, everything. The whole real estate market goes up. We talked about that at the Yuma REI, how investors, how flippers push the limits. They create the values.
I pushed the limit.
There you
Yes,
go.
you did.
I'm getting hollered at all the time from you, so I know I pushed the limit.
Oh, man. I
When you
lose
do-
sleep over this
When
gentleman
you do
right
one
there.
house and the budget is 15,000 and it comes in at 29, boy, did I get chewed out on that one. Woo.
What did you do, Joe?
Well, we put new cabinets.
Yeah, but now me and Susie can't go to El Charo.
Well,
Just kidding.
If you're the faint of heart, don't go to Vegas with Joe.
oh no, go to Vegas with Joe because my wife's lucky.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Joe,
Joe's not lucky, but
Joe doesn't spend his money there.
Joe, I'd like to know your opinion. A lot of people ask me like, hey, I want to get started in investing. I want to start doing this right away. My personal opinion is there's no shortcuts and you need to have money. And sometimes that means you need to find some sort of career and you got to put your heart and soul into it. And then after a few years, maybe even decades, then you'll probably have enough money to start doing flipping. What do you what would you say to those individuals, those between 20 to 29-year-olds that they just want to get started right now?
you can't. You have to get started whenever you go to work or have a job. You got to put X amount of money away, and people don't do that. They live above their
Their
means. So you have to put whatever it is a little bit away, a little bit away, a little bit away. So when if you do want to flip, you got something that you could take and make money on. But you got to have some money. What do you think it costs to flip one house?
Well, I mean,
I can tell you, but I'm just asking you guys.
anywhere
You guys are
between
pros.
anywhere between 40 and 60,000.
That's just the repair budget.
Yeah. Oh, and then you got the holding costs. It'll probably be somewhere around $70,000,
Say about
$80,000.
250.
Everything.
250K.
Yeah, you need 250.
There we go.
Exactly 250.
To
The
purchase
40
the
to
property.
60, that's just the
Right, right.
repairs.
That's the repairs.
There
I
you
see what
go.
you mean.
Then you got a big cost when you buy the house.
That's right. You got to purchase the property.
The purchase.
Yeah.
You got the repairs. Yeah. So, and Joe does a couple at a time. Look at this. So
Yeah.
3, 4. I mean, and then he's still like, "Hey, Anthony, you got any more?" I'm like, "Joe." He says 49 years of concrete, Anthony. 49 years of saving, like he said. Put a little aside all the time.
Yeah.
Make an investment, right?
But not only that, Joe found a career path that just spoke to him. He never felt like he was going to work. You were having fun every day. You were doing what you loved.
Didn't have fun at the beginning,
Right.
but I'm having fun now.
Yes, sir. But
But-
because you found something that you could put your heart and soul into, it's just like you said, the money just followed.
Yes. You do watch the pennies. If you watch the pennies, the dollars do follow.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, I like that. Well, wow, Joe. We appreciate all the advice. There's a lot of nuggets in there. we'll go back and watch this myself. And
Me too. I'm gonna study
Oh
this.
no.
yeah, we're gonna study this.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Well, we appreciate you coming on today,
Not a
taking
problem.
some time.
Not a problem.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. And then maybe sometime in the future, a few months down the line, we could come back, revisit, and see how things have changed from the market right now to then.
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay, Joe,
Perfect.
you're welcome anytime.
Thank you very
We'll
much.
bring Sue in. We'll let Bailey in. We'll have to get some more microphones, but
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that.
we can do
You
that.
want to come in now, honey? Come on.
No.
Maybe
ju-
next time.
So you just got your hair done too. You look all cute.
She looks great.
She was
Sure?
out here. She was out here in the background correcting you guys with her fists. Like, you guys got to say the right things.
Oh, I know.
I do got to say one thing in San
Yes, sir.
Diego. Besides doing concrete, I've done a lot of bobcat work, and my son is excellent in the digging. And he gave me a lot of drive to keep it going. So I do like working with my son in San Diego. He's a backhoe operator, owner up, and he does the digging for the plumbing. I do the backfill
That
for,
was cool.
for him.
That was really cool,
and,
Joe.
And he does push me to the limit all the time. So that's where we get the Martelli push.
It runs in the
push,
family.
push. Yeah.
And then
Hurry up, Pops. You're taking
it-
too long.
and maybe your son can join you.
Oh, that'd
Hopefully.
be fun.
So
Hopefully.
we'll see. That's to be continued. We'll talk about that next time.
Yep. Okay.
All
Alrighty. Joe, Sue, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everybody who's listening and tuning in. And thank you to everybody who's watching later on because they're busy. We have this on YouTube. We have it on Spotify. Yuma REI. February is going to be happening on Wednesday, the 12th. But from then on, it should be every second Thursday of the month. Don't miss out. You're going to meet people like Sue and Joe and a lot more investors that are really good in pushing the market in Yuma. Thank you guys so much for being here. See you next time.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
We